Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. My name is Sydney and we are going to be figuring out / going through all of the books I hope to read in July, otherwise known as my July TBR. So I have right here a few select books that I definitely have to read in July because they are Patreon book club picks or buddy reads that I'm doing with other people, so they are for sure on my TBR. But I wanted to do something a little bit different this month and make it a little bit more exciting. So I have a little jar that I filled with pieces of paper of about 20 or so books that I just chose randomly off my shelf that I really want to get to soon. So I'm going to be picking 5 out of here to add to my TBR and just make it a little bit more fun and exciting for me. So we're going to be figuring out what the books I'm reading in July are together. So yeah, first we'll just go through these books here and let you know what the Patreon book club picks are and the buddy reads that I have for the month of July. But also I have my iPad here open to Goodreads synopses for some of these books because I'm not the best at knowing what every book is about or explaining what every book is about in detail. So I have these as a little bit of a reference, so hopefully I can give you a little bit of a synopsis on what some of these books are about. A lot of them also are talked about frequently on Booktubes, so I don't feel the need to get into too much detail on those. But we will just start with one that I'm actually waiting to receive in the mail. So I don't have the copy of this yet, but this is the Patreon book club pick for Books with Chloe's Patreon, and that is The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher. And this is a horror fantasy book about a young woman who discovers a strange portal in her uncle's house. And this woman's name is Kara, and she finds these cryptic words in this bunker of her uncle's house that says, "Pray they are hungry." So she is immediately intrigued by what this means, and so she finds herself becoming obsessed with exploring this bunker and this strange portal, and comes to find out that this portal leads to many alternate realities, and there's these creatures that haunt these places that seem to hear your thoughts, and the more you fear them, the stronger they become. So it sounds like a very spooky read. Very excited to get into it and read it with everybody in Books with Chloe's Patreon. So that is the first book on my TBR for July. The second book I have is Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Iyamide, and this is for Mel Reed's Patreon book club pick. And all I really know about this one is that it dives deep into institutionalized racism, and there is a anonymous person whose name is Aces, and they bring to light 2 particular students' dark secrets. So it sounds like this book is set in high school, and on the cover it says, "How do you stop an unknown enemy?" So it sounds suspenseful and thrilling, and this is the author's debut book. So I'm very excited to get into this and read it with everybody in Mel Reed's Patreon. And then the next book I have here is a buddy read for some friends, also in Mel Reed's Discord for her Patreon. And that book is going to be Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman, the second book in the Arc of a Scythe series. This is one of those series that a lot of people talk about on BookTube, but basically it is a dystopian novel about people who have overcome hunger and misery and even death, and the only way they can die is by the hand of one of these scythes. So since this is the second book, I'm not going to get too much into it, but this one follows Thunderhead, who is the ruler of this perfect world. And yeah, I'm just very excited to get into this. And then the next one I am buddy reading is Graceling by Kristen Kishore, and this is for the Graceling Along readathon hosted over on A Frolic Through Fiction's channel. So I decided to participate in that, and we are reading the first book in the series in July, and then the other 3 following in August, September, and October. And this is about a girl who is graced with the extreme skill of killing, and then she is forced to work as the king's thug and unexpectedly falls in love with the prince in this story. So this is an older series as well, but I'm very excited to read it for the first time. And then the 5th and final book for a buddy read or book club pick is City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. This is the second book in the Mortal Instruments series. So I have read City of Bones a little while ago, but I very much enjoyed it, and this is also with people from Mel Reed's Discord, and we are making our way through the entire Shadowhunters series, and I'm very excited to jump back in and read City of Ashes. Okay, so that is it for all of my pre-picked out books for the month of July. So now we are going to get into picking 5 more out of my jar here, and I'm very nervous. All of these I definitely want to read. Obviously, there are really no punishments except for maybe picking the first book in another series and having to dive right into a brand new series on top of all of the other series that I am currently in the middle of. I'm not sure if there's too many books in here that are extremely long, but like I said, they're all ones that I definitely want to read at some point. So let's just go ahead and pick the first book. Okay, and the first book that is picked is yay, I'm so excited. This is like the number one I wanted to pick, and that is The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. So excited that this is on my TBR so that I am forced to pick it up, and I won't have to feel bad about picking this up instead of something else that would have been picked for my TBR. So I'm so happy that I've got this, and I can't wait to pick it up. Okay, and then the next book is Everything by Nicola Yoon. So I've had this book for a very long time, and I've really wanted to pick it up. I just never got around to it, so I'm glad that it's on my TBR so that it gives me a reason to pick it up. It's quite short, so it should be good to read really quickly, maybe even in one sitting. So I'm very excited about this one as well. Okay, and then the third book is going to be Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. Wow, this is going really well so far. So this actually was gifted to me by Morgan, who is a friend in Mel Reed's Discord. She kindly gifted this to me, so I'm so excited that this is now on my July TBR. Can't wait to read a psychological thriller about a seemingly perfect married couple who looks like they have it all together, but actually behind closed doors they are completely different. So very excited to get into this and find out more about it. All right, so I have 2 more to pick now. Hopefully they're good. We've got, oh, this one is one that I was actually nervous about picking. I mean, it's like a great thing, but it's also kind of a bad thing. This is probably one of the more punishable books, but it's also really about time I get into it. So I don't know why I'm complaining. It's actually a good thing. And that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. So I am very excited to finally get into these books because I've never read them before, but I was still very hesitant to finally pick up this series and just kept pushing it off because once I finish this one, I know I'm just going to want to keep going through the rest of the books and binge it as fast as I can. But with all the other books that I'm reading too, I don't know if I feel like I'm just gonna want to push everything else off and finish the series. But I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I could take it slow like I have been with the Mortal Instruments series, but I think maybe it is about time and it's fate that I have to pick this up and read it now. So this will also be on my July TBR. And the 5th and final book that I'm picking out of the jar is, ooh, and that is going to be Take Me Home Tonight by Morgan Matson. Okay, I'm very excited that this was pulled because this sounds very exciting to me. It is about 2 best friends who go on a trip to New York, and they're ready to have the time of their lives, but then they run into a lot of bumps in the road and get stuck doing a lot of things that they didn't plan for. Looking forward to reading this story that's set in New York. Sounds like a great time, and yeah, I feel like these were all really good picks to pull from, and I'm very excited to get to them all. So there are a total of 10 books on my TBR for July, with counting the Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher, and I'm very excited about all of these. I think this was a very successful TBR video with not knowing what I was going to be picking, but I'm very happy with all of these. I am very nervous though because this is a lot of books and some of them are pretty thick, but I'm excited nonetheless. And we shall see how we do this month. Wish me luck. So yeah, that's going to wrap up my July TBR and this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a like and subscribe for more bookish videos from me. Comment down below what's on your TBR for July. I would love to know. Also, just a reminder to check out all of my socials linked down in the description if you want to follow me elsewhere on Goodreads, Twitter, or Instagram. I would love to be friends on there. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!